And perhaps it's your more psychic side leading this kind of intuition, but you feel like there's more to this heart. Now I will update the card.
Hey.
Or rather, I will see what is in bed, I'll update the card later. There's an additional thing to this heart if someone uses it enough. Because what it truly is doing is, it truly is purification just of the most vile source. Some kind of combination of necromancy, transmutation, conjuration, most of the skills of magic to was basically expunge all corruption from the wearer. You're aware that this process actually happens in a lot of, well, not necessarily natural, but in other people, for instance, monks, they as they train, they usually naturally purify their bodies, getting rid of any corruption. This thing seems to do it in a magical sort of way. As a person uses this item more and more, uh, basically for a period, they'll experience negative impacts. But after a while, they'll come out of it completely purified. Here we go. For instance, 5 uses. The wearer finds themselves crying black tears every so often, like ink running from a page. 10 uses. The wearer feels itchy inside, as if something's writhing around inside them. 15 uses. The wearer feels euphoric, as if all corruptions and toxins in their body are completely gone, but find themselves growing reliant on the charm. 20 uses. The charm will subsume itself into the wearer, and you'll gain a special subtype. What the subtype is, you're not quite sure. You just know the name.
Or
Mortic.
Arrow aware of this as Ren starts looking at this thing and taking notes.
What was the subtype name?
Right in it.
Morphic. Okay. Mortic.
Mortic.
And you've just had this lying here?
I mean, what do you want me to do with it?
I don't know, but
I can put it in a fridge if you prefer.
no.
Okay, thought so.
What I prefer, but this.
Look, God damn it. Look, I know. I get it. It's wrong. I'm wrong. I shouldn't have this. I get it. But I do. So we're working with what I got.
Okay.
As montage? Question
Hmm.
mark?
Yep, I think montage time.
What I'm going to basically end up doing is I'll update the research thing of a new project. This will include building an appropriate shell for you to shunt the alchemist's soul into. I'll do it right now. But yeah, I'll be combining both your expertise and Ren's.
Ren, cross thought. Just thought I'd bring it up so I'm not alone in this thought process. Do we try to jip him? There's a lot I could do with a soul like that.
You're the one who. You were the one talking in support of him before.
I am, but I'm also in support of myself.
You really want to anger him?
Well, anger is a term, but ideally I'd like to turn him into dust.
Ren just looks confused. So,
Look, get I know my goal for what he wants to do is it's terrible. I've had like 6 people tell me to kill him. But I don't know of anyone else who could do the job. I mean, other than maybe someone with I don't know, the power or something with the power of him to kick ass. I'm not saying me, but It's a lot of money.
We're already touching on dangerous territory. I don't know if this is really the best idea.
It really isn't. I'm just wondering if it's a better idea than the one I have. The thing is that both of them are terrible ideas. Just which one's worse?
Pretty sure your one's worse.
Is it though? I mean, I don't kill babies. Let's just say it that way.
Ren had a psychic sense to detect lies that would ping up as a lie.
Oh yeah, I do kill babies. Never mind.
You're not helping your cause.
I yeah,
I
I
think that's
know.
the character, but yeah.
Like, I'm kind of disgusted here by all the different options. So this is
This is what I've been rattling around in my head for the past six. No, not 6 months. What is it? 3 months? Oh my god, time's been going so slowly. I hate like every option, and I have so much on my fucking table. I don't have the opportunity to make good choices. If you have another idea, please, I'm willing to hear it because I'm out of ideas. Those are my two options. So I'll admit, this is part of my main plan, my main gimmick that I want to go back to free air at some point and literally kick everybody's ass. Everyone. I want to beat them at their own damn game.
if that's your goal, reintroducing the alchemist probably won't make it easier.
No, but it will make them stab each other and make me a little bit less noticeable. If there's more
Start
people
going,
stabbing each other, then will that be less paying attention to me?
you realize you're stabbing them.
Yes, you can see where my thought process is, but I don't think I have the capabilities of bringing down a fucking great sword on their head, which would be the option of just killing the alchemist and taking whatever he's worth. And besides, I'm not even sure I can. Theoretically, yes, the numbers work out, but fucking what? I'll let you in on a bit of a secret. I still have handed a fucking artifact away from a god. I figure I can do it to this doofus. He's an asshole. He's too confident in himself. Frankly, he doesn't think anything of me.
What are you thinking of trying to steal then?
I don't plan on stealing anything. I plan on him accidentally falling into a blender when I'm actually working on the extraction.
Need him to, to save that other guy, right?
Well, frankly, at the point when he falls into a blender, I don't need his help.
I meant the mutations.
Yeah, I know that's a problem, but it's something else we could work on. I doubt it's as bad as he's saying, or if it is as bad as he's saying, frankly, I'm developing a fucking way to punch a hole in reality. It's another problem on my plate, but not
Problem
insurmountable.
gets solved fast enough.
I mean, what other choice would I have other than to solve it fast enough?
You fail.
I haven't done that yet.
The stares at Aaron, like questioning if she has the audacity.
You can see that she's questioning it herself, but
Fairness, so if Alchemist said this, he couldn't teach you to do it, doesn't necessarily mean you couldn't figure it away.
yeah, she just thinks of me that I'm trash. I get that. Everyone does. It's like literally my greatest advantage.
I think this is a good place to end session. Silas, Logic does not come out of the bathroom, but he will, like, at some point grunt for Vidor, like, a goodbye in some
Okay.
capacity.
All right. Silas will take that and say, and also just say goodbye and say, I will be back sometime later. Not today, but another day.
Okay.
Trust Mullen.
Yeah, she's making some chicken soup. Heals all ailments.
Good. Excellent.
The plus has a peaceful day with the animals. Well, back to Wentworth.
Good.
It helps when you roll on that 20.
Mm-hmm.
Might have.
I mean, no one's dead, so yay.
Yeah, at this point, Silas is really thinking of a way to kill the alchemist. But he's got other issues that now he also is dealing with. Screw you, Aaron.
Hmm.
I mean, Ren's stuck in this really awkward position that he's not sure what the correct answer is right now.
Uh-huh. Don't say.
The
Ren.
fact of from everything he's heard so far of the alchemist, he feels like killing him's probably the best option.
Oh yeah, I have to say something. Fair is literally called War Crime Country in my notepad. It's bad
Yeah.
there.
Problem is, at the same time, like Ren's worried, like if he kills the alchemist, that also means he's killing this other guy.
Well, just have to find another way. Slash figure another way.
Wait.
I've got ideas.
I mean,
Sideline.
Yeah.
So this device this thing steals things from people.
Correct.
Just steals different like bits of them.
Yeah.
Bit psyche, soul. Huh. How else could that be augmented?
toes.
Hmm.
No. And of course, if you're maybe struggling, there's always the potential of asking other people who might have ideas.
There's also the potential of using my favorite use of hero points known as inspiration.
That is also technically true.
Ask the GM to guide you towards a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm very sad that none of you are like any form of divination-y person, because I love divination stuff.
Yeah. I am at this point also kind of sad I didn't take I took anti-hero. I mean, it makes sense for Aaron. A lot of makes sense for Aaron.
I
But I
mean,
also would only basically ever use my hero points for Aaron having a eureka moment.
yeah. And in fairness, whenever you get a feed next, you're free to take hero. I feel like at some point Aaron has earned it.
But do you have a card for that weird heart, this weird Cordia heart thing?
Oh, the Black Bile Charm? Yes, I'll show it up again. I'll also update it with the effects of prolonged use. Well, it sounds like it's kind of being consumed to make an item.
Maybe.
Oops, nope, I just opened up an incognito tab. Don't know how I did that.
I mean, do mutations count as an affliction?
Depends on the mutation, I believe.
I think these would. Most of them.
Because if we're already going to be trying to siphon a soul up, can we just siphon the soul and the mutation at the same time?
Which, yeah, that might be a good idea. I was also thinking that, hey, you know who might be good at, like, stabilizing the alchemist mutations? The guy who seemed to be the prodigy of the alchemist.
Yeah, I
A
think
bit weird doing it on himself, but
I think this is Ren's fault though. At the moment, is the fact of like he's looking at this absolutely vile thing in front of him,
Hmm.
but thinking it might be possible to adapt it to kill two birds with one stone.
Those are. Oof.
The second penalty is by far the worst.
Yeah, using the
Ammo.
causes con damage as well as the. Thankfully, one con damage isn't actually that bad.
Yeah, and you can only ever really. Oh, I think was the item only once per day, or does it just stick to a person?
It sticks for you for the day. You can use it as much as you want.
Yeah. So yeah, you could potentially speedrun it. Okay, what research projects did I say? I was gonna say. Sideline, do you want to name your project that you're doing is anything fancy, or should I just come up with a random name, appropriate name?
So my first project is Project Gatekeeper, and that is the
And that's
Whittle
finished.
project. Project Awareness, which is my psychic stuff.
Mhm.
Project Separation Anxiety. I don't know. I'll have a good one. Project
I
Shunt.
mean, I would take proper project separation anxiety because A, it's funny, and B, it works for now. You can change it in the future.
Also a very Jamak name.
Excuse me.
I mean, it is. Fits your brand.
Ow. You don't know my brand. My brand is Special K.
My
That's why
brand.
And it fits
whole ass
just as well
cereal.
then.
What the fuck does that mean? Fits just as well.
Just, it's,
Narrow my eyes at you.
yeah, something about Special K. Also, whose bets on the him getting shoved in the bat not being an accident because he was injured?
Oh. You're very unlikely to figure it out from where you are, unfortunately.
Oh, of course, yeah. But I have a real feeling that the alchemist doesn't actually make clones. Not
think,
in
like,
the
What you think they just
not in
shove
the
try to mutate them?
yeah. Yeah, I think it's more of a I'm making a body double out of a person. Very much seems more likely to me.
Or the
Because
green goo is made out of people. It's Soylent Green.
that's also probably true. Those are not mutually exclusive.
Sure.
Also, J-Mac, I can't remember if you've seen Made in Abyss at
I
all.
have. Wait,
Yeah,
are you
this
talking
guy,
about the
the
scene where
alchemist is
like
giving me fucking Bondrewd vibes.
I honestly didn't watch it that much because seeing naked children is weird. But are you talking about the thing where like we dropped them and then it's like the girl turned into
No.
the Metal Alchemist thing?
Well, yes and no. Just Bondrewd in general.
Fair enough.
Him, yeah. That's the alchemist is giving me those vibes. So
You have not had the opportunity to come across many alchemist-made monsters, mostly because you're not the country that he's from. But all of them are pretty fucked up. Hold on, I need to find my document for him.
yeah, I kind of
Is it just
personally
like the
forgot that. Oh
alchemist?
yeah, right. He made monsters to sell to people.
Yeah. Ah yes, here's a few. The Weeper, basically a reverse bard. Anyone who hears it cry takes penalties, and a few other effects. Actually being made from a bard who's been preserved within a flesh casing. Let's see what else. Amalgams, which are basically creatures fused together, such as the half centaur, half minotaur.
Isn't that
The
just
only
a horse?
one is the top half of a minotaur, bottom half of a centaur.
Mm.
So it actually looks correct, sort of. The only one you have met is the steel-touched birds, birds with iron feathers that they can fire, usually
Oh,
used as
those
artillery.
things. Those things were okay.
I'm very sad because this one will probably never be encountered, but Reverse Medusa turns stone into flesh.
That why?
Because think of it this way: you have to siege a city. Oh, here comes a big monster! Oh, your stone shit's now made out of flesh. Fuck your
Yeah, it's-
fortifications.
Oh, still though, that's just good lord.
Intimidation factor, my dude.
Hmm.
Yeah, what fucking requirements will project separation anxiety require? Sorry. Damn it. I guess I'm making this a second post.
Oh, and to add to this all, guys,
Mhm.
something to add to all that. I said 3 days.
Hmm. Yep, I know.
You know what happened? What's coming in or rather, do you know the significance of what happens in 3 days as well?
Hmm.
The current month is Lamashin, named for Lamashtu, goddess of monsters. You are 2 days away from the month ending and going into the next month of Neph, named for Nephis.
Hmm. Right, these two are just right next to each other as well.
Yeah. A very auspicious month. I'll tell you, the month, it being Lamash's month has influenced things, which is, I find it hilarious. Just because of the chance of it.
This would be fun. J-Mac,
Mhm.
when it comes to making the appropriate vessel,
Yeah.
what is this more an issue of crafting it, Or is this more an issue of having to research how to craft it?
In this case, it's both.
Okay.
So you'll be trying to figure this out and probably make it at the same time. Completion of Project Separation Anxiety will end you up with a vessel that you think would be able to do what Air wants it. Which I'm just making doubly clear. You want to move the alchemist soul into a vessel so that you can move it into into a proper body for him.
We move it into a proper body for him.
It wasn't that
Yes.
the idea that he'd go into a
Body,
body
and then that
capable
body
of
would be able to stabilize
Leodric.
Mhm.
Leodric's mutations.
Which can Aaron roll me a very quick intelligence check?
I technically have.
The DC isn't very high, so don't worry about it. Good enough. Hey, you remember going down to the lab at some point. Okay, you might have found at least your first
Whoops.
your first little hurdle with this. The time you went down to the basement and found it like specifically the lab in the basement and found it like all altered. That Leodric came out of has been moved away somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's even possible for us to roll enough to get it done in 3 days.
Well, I don't care about the truth. I just want to use it. And technically, the only need we need to do is separation anxiety. That's the only thing we need to know if we're doing the free the alchemist plan. If we're doing the kill the alchemist
I mean,
sleight
it's
of hand
a
plan.
350 to do in 3 days.
Mhm.
Which means we need to get more than 100 on our rolls between us in a day.
Mhm.
Are you saying you can roll a 50?
I'm saying that I can roll twice in a day because I can work longer than 8 hours and just take fatigue.
I mean,
An option.
that's technically fair, I suppose, maybe, if the GM allows.
If
We
you
can
have
also,
methods of putting off exhaustion, you could technically do it. But I will say if you're doing it for a long enough time, it's gonna fuck you up.
Mhm.
there's also a thing we can get more people working on it.
That's also true. If you can convince people to help you make this creepy ass vessel, you certainly can.
Astra, I'm so glad you're a cooperative crafter right now.
We're actually looking into Leodric's affliction because Silas doesn't fully believe that Leodric's body wouldn't be fully stable.
I know you don't have craft alchemy, but I'll say for Silas there's something special in that you can use Dante's.
Oh, that's nice.
Hold on, I think he had a pretty good craft alchemy, but might have only been for drugs. I will check. Oh yeah, can Silas also roll me a fortune, Steve?
This one 4.
You know how you got your contact high?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh, you're
Trying to get
fine.
me addicted?
No, you're fine. Okay, he has a plus 16, but he has his own facilities that he can use to boost that.
I would appreciate him helping with that.
Basically, yes, it is a valid option to draw people in to ask them for
Mhm.
help.
You wouldn't know anyone with Crafter's Fortune, do you?
No, potentially.
I do.
But
You
just
can't.
don't get Crafter's Fortune.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Part
Oh,
Alchemist, too.
Crafter's Fortune's Alchemist?
Yeah, it's on Alchemist
Okay,
list.
yeah, you can get a perfume of, Ren's never, I guess has Ren spent it, have Ren and Nell met yet?
Met probably just.
Vaguely.
I mean, for the fact that he's crashed the couch of the Wandstorm a couple of times with the group.
Plus, I might just ask Nell for a bit of help.
And Murray.
Valid Ven.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another texture I'll set up, because, yeah, here's the interesting thing. This is a very Freyan problem. There are a lot of people in your dorm who come from Freyr, but are not necessarily aware of the issue at hand. To name them, Alaslo, Brayton, Marie, and there's one more of the Crayport crew, wasn't there? Okay, maybe it was just Wolves free. Never mind. But yeah, so there is some stake for them in this issue at least, vis-a-vis home country at least.
That's the thing. I don't want them to
Plus
really know about
Princeton.
the.
Yeah, you don't want them to know
Princeton's a
about.
weird one. Yeah, I don't want them to know about the alchemist. I just want them to help Leodric.
Yeah. Yeah, Princeton's also from Freyr, technically.
I didn't actually realize Laszlo was from Freyr. That does explain a
Yeah.
few things.
Admittedly, you have never really talked to him about his backstory. Not that he's very, he doesn't exactly divulge that in a win,
I kind
unlike
of
some
figured it.
people.
I mean, I kind of figured out the fact that he's from somewhere, but he works with like a weird cult of shadow-esque people.
You've thrown a dart. You've hit the edge at least.
Yeah, I've pieced that out.
Yeah. I'll let you know. Sideline.
Mm.
With Ren's working pace with Crafter's Fortune. This is without working overtime. This is just working standard hours. Ren can get 168 points on the project
Okay, that's good.
in 3 days.
I can make up the difference.
So if Ren's good at anything, it's building stuff. So thankfully, I got those points there. This will be interesting, though.
Welcome to Aaron's land of crunch time.
Aaron, we need to unionize. This isn't healthy.
Don't worry, I'll form a union later. Me and Astra are the founding members.
This is Aaron's favorite terrain. It's crunch time.
This isn't the terrain.
Yeah, that means we're currently down though 100. What is that? 132 points.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. 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 More than that because it's 350. We've got another 182 we need to build.
Keep in mind, you might have bonuses from like facilities and whatnot.
Yeah, because we got my facility and then we also
I
have the
mean,
alchemist stuff.
does this facility provide anything I need to know about?
Yes, my facility gives you a +2.
So if I re-add that into my equation,
And if either of you are using alchemy, I believe if you use a lab underneath the skill, it's a +4. Where is my basement thing?
okay, 180 points in total I can do in the time then, which means there's 170 left to burn.
Yeah, the alchemist lab provides a +4 to any alchemy check made within. However, recently it appears to be altered for some ritual work. Specifically, blood magic can now be performed within the lab. Not that anyone really knows why blood magic can now be done there, but it can.
Yeah, I'm up to 170 at the moment. 180, sorry. So 170 remaining.
I mean, in fairness, you probably could have said more time.
What's that?
Sorry, my headset's falling apart again. In fairness, Aaron probably could have said more time, but it's a bit awkward now to go back and be like, hey, can we have another 2 days?
Aaron wanted crunch time.
Yeah, apparently.
If Ren pulls one overnight shift, that would get it up to. Well, that would knock another 60 off, so it'd be 110 left.
I'll just say, if I dump everything into my craft clockwork, I have a +30.
Okay, so you're getting what, 40 done on a take 10?
Yeah.
Right, so if you do 43 times, that gets us to 120, which leaves us with 50 left to go. I could work 1 overtime and get that. Though, of course, you might apply appropriate penalties for them me having worked overtime.
Yeah, except I can push off exhaustion pretty easily.
I
You
cannot
can.
I cannot just flat out ignore exhaustion. So actually, wait a minute.
Don't you have craft of or heart of a field?
I just remembered. Yes, I do. I get to ignore the first time I come fatigued. Hey, JMac.
Yeah.
I forgot I take that specifically because Ren can work double shift.
You might end up sleeping for an entire day at the end of his 3 days, but yeah, you could pull a double shift.
Hey, no one ever said I had to do anything else.
True.
But the point is that means once per day I can ignore becoming fatigued, which means I can work double shift. Aaron,
Hmm?
that technically means Ren is able to output 120 per day.
Perfect.
Are you just going to teleport, or do you think you got it?
I mean, if Ren works overtime if Ren worked overtime 3 days in a row, he would do the entire project by himself.
So,
Damn.
what are you
Which
working
means
on?
if Ren could do that, and you guys could work on the other projects.
Yeah, you're working on project separation anxiety then?
I could do all anxiety by myself, but Ren then will basically be KO'd if he does that.
Yeah.
You're basically working 3 days in a row on like 4 hours sleep. So
Yeah, I really need Leodric's Affliction done.
I would say before I start project separation anxiety, I will have that meal out with my roommate.
Fucking Tyrian's just fucking like, where is Ren?
What the fuck?
The point is I will make sure I have the meal out with Tyrion before I begin project separation anxiety.
Fair enough. Also, fucking Aaron. Boy toy.
Roommate.
Yes.
Oh, but this is gonna be crunch time.
I have the cup storm made for if, I don't know, something ever happens there. Also because Ren lives there.
It will happen at some point.
Yeah.
So, the next thing that's going to happen there is Ren being just asleep.
Let's go flash over. I think I did a better job of making it seem like an actual dorm.
This is Ren's dorm. No,
Pay no heed to the fact that it's vastly different from yours.
well, all the dorms are slightly different, right?
Yeah.
Some
I mean,
for another.
also, like, people would probably be able to figure out that the reason their dorm's so weird is because basically Lee has designed the entirety of it. And while she might have a lot of craft carpentry and basically, multiple building crews stashed within her walls, she's not an architect.
Yeah, this looks a lot more formal.
Out of curiosity, do you know where Alana's boyfriend is?
Yes, I can reveal them for you.
That's not
Is
the
it-
proper vernacular.
Don't call him boy toy. Roland is actually in the opposite corner from you with Mezits. I can just reveal.
Because I am 100% sure that Roland is given Roland is a martial character in his own right.
Yeah.
He's probably also taking advantage of Ren's crafting services.
Yeah.
Because
Roland is mostly using Carlo.
the entire dorm is also aware that there is a waiting list.
Yeah. Faster currently being never told.
I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious, admittedly, about one particular member.
Oh.
A certain lizardy person living by a stairwell.
Ah yes, Nemorn. Ironically, the only person who's ever briefly interacted with him is Rose. Because when she first came over to meet Roland, she actually briefly brushed into Arfstufa and Nemorn. to talk to him, of course, but they've existed for a while. I think I filled in his character card.
I mean, he
Depends.
exists.
Is there particular people that like Ren would have would you say Ren would have hang out with before? Because I can always expunge a bit more about who they are and whatnot.
Hmm. I imagine Ren has taken advantage of Stufa's services before.
The Dream Tutor, yeah. Ren basically knows that for the majority of the time she's just fucking asleep,
And that's fair given her special power.
fucking snoozing all day, the life.
Would have hung out with Roland for sure before.
Yeah. Roland's very amiable, so he pretty much gets along with everyone.
Probably would probably from this kind of like academic geek point of view also Mezzets as well.
Yeah. Mezzets is very eccentric, is probably a good way to put it. He's very much into his own form of craft.
So.
Yeah. Mainly, for Morn, the main thing you know about him is he's a swordsman, strangely enough.
Yeah. Again with Carla as that kind of share of like craft skills.
Yeah, she's also a weaponsmith.
Yeah. Rival weaponsmiths.
Yeah. Maybe her weapon is more like, I make leg.
Yeah, but, still important.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's just like, one person makes sword, I make leg.
Astra, of course, we've already discussed, like, things there. I don't think there's anyone else here who stands out as someone like Roland Ren would particularly hang out with.
Fair enough.
I'm very curious who Stuart Lamb is, but I don't know if Ren has a reasonable approach.
Yeah.
A very solemn individual.
He is a, whatever the fuck that bard archetype was called, that's very sad. Sorso?
Oh. Sorroso is a very terrifying archetype.
Oh, hold on. Let me go apply all his bonuses and roll his attack. It's fun. Sorso great. I love it.
A Sorrow song gets rather ridiculous with its bonuses.
Oh, actually, when does Inspired Courage go up? I think it's 5th. Yes, 5th. So no, not yet.
I understand. Basically, everyone in the dorm who has a decent martial focus to them, though, Ren is probably at least
Spend time with.
Probably gets along with.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyone with a martial or a psychic focus, I suppose, which I don't think there's anyone with a specific big psychic focus there.
Ellen, technically? Oh, she's a bit of an odd case.
I don't know if
Also, probably ever since you've started hanging out with the other people, she's probably avoided you because Ipos has tormented her a few times.
Yeah, so it's mostly just the ones who are like the big martial fighters of this area.
That's fair.
And then, crafters and marshals.
Which
really makes them
fucking +12 to attack BB.
Though I don't think he definitely wouldn't appreciate Francis's landmines.
He doesn't just fucking put them down inside the house.
No, but it's the fact of though that also seems like a very dirty way of fighting, is just putting down mines.
Like, God has given you the tools that he has given him, and that happens to be landmines. He didn't ask to be born with a Kobold bloodline. It just happened. He could have had a more respectable bloodline, like Arcane or Imperious, but no,
that looks about right for a Sorrow.
Yeah.
Damages that doesn't have expect, but
he has Piranha Strike and shit.
He's using like a dagger or something.
Yeah, he's using back way when it's all the way back in Anna Kapur. He got that dagger from the weird flower thingy in the temple, and that's the weapon he has. The one that Epos really wanted, but never managed to get.
I don't imagine Ren's particularly close with anyone in the dorm though, outside the people we've already discussed.
Fair enough.
Just for the fact though that that's because Ren's pretty shy.
Oh. And
But
Red
yeah,
has what? 8 charisma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he tries to be a show off at times, but you know, it takes very little to fluster him. So
I return.
Welcome back. Meanwhile, Ren rooming with a 20 charisma person. It's like a bright gleaming sun.
Ah, so I was correct in the term of boy toy.
I'm roommated with a maximum charisma blood havoc sorcerer. So
Perfect.
Yes, he is his party's Epos.
I mean, I definitely imagine there are social situations though where I'm completely smoothing off his charisma.
Hey, it's free real estate. We roll his orb. Oh, that's a kind of crap roll. Oh yeah, he's also dumped all his feats into boosting his evocation spells.
Ah, a true blast sorcerer.
Hell yeah. DCs? No thank you. Just fail, please.
I can respect this.
I think building characters through this has made me appreciate more being boring and taking spell focus.
Spell focus might be boring, but it's not a bad choice.
Yeah, having people fail your saves feels good.